Hey everybody, Mr. Bucko here with your first video lesson for algebra. We're going to go over some things from section 1.1 and 1.2, specifically a couple examples from 1.2. We see here first that example 1 is a pattern is described by the equation or expression 4s plus s, and we want to give three instances of the pattern. And an instance is a specific example or a case for any pattern. So one instance could be 4 times 7 plus 7. Where the s in the pattern has been replaced with a 7, and there's an s here and an s here, which explains why there is a 7 here and a 7 here. This is called an instance of the pattern. So another instance could be 4 times negative 5 plus negative 5. This is another instance of the pattern where s has been replaced with negative 5, and notice it's replaced in both places where the s appears. In another instance, s can be whatever you want. I chose 34, so 4 times 34 plus 34 is another instance of the pattern. Another example would be going in the opposite direction, where you're given instances and you have to come up with a pattern. So we have three instances here where we have the quantity 4 plus 9 minus 5 equals negative 1 plus 9. Same thing. And we notice here that what's changing are these values here. These values here. And we notice that what's the same in all these instances, 4 appears in every single one, minus 5 appears in every single one, negative 1 also appears in every single one. So if we're going to describe the pattern with one variable, or with a variable, we can leave the 4s, we can leave the minus 5s, we can leave the minus 1s, and we want to change the 987 to a variable because that's what's changing. So if we were to describe this with a variable, the pattern would look like 4 plus x minus 5 equals negative 1 plus x. And we can keep the x and x because it's 9 and 9, 8 and 8. In each of these instances, these two things are exactly the same, which is why we have x and x. Another example, how many terms are in this expression? And terms are separated by addition and subtraction. So if we look here, what's separated by addition, so we only see addition here, is 1, 2, 3 terms. 3x is a term, 6 is a term, 7w is a term. So there are 3 terms in that expression. If we take a look at another one, we have 12 plus c plus the quantity 13w minus 9t. Here we have 4 terms, 12, c, 13w, and negative 9t, because we can change this to a plus negative 9t. We always have to pay attention to the sign that's in front of the term. C is positive because there's a plus in front of the c. Another expression, 9h minus 3r plus 47. Here, there are also 3 terms, and those 3 terms are the 9h, negative 3r, and 47. So terms are separated by addition and subtraction, and we always have to be conscious of or aware of the sign that's in front of each of those terms. Another thing we have is factors, and factors are separated by multiplication or division. So here we have 3xy, which can also be read as 3 times x times y. Separating by multiplication, we have 3 terms. We have 3x and y, and I said terms, I meant factors. There are 3 factors here, 1, 2, 3. 3x and y because those are separated by multiplication. Here we have 17p. 17p, 2 factors. We have a 17 and a p, separated by multiplication. And lastly, kd, wb, or k times d times w times b, we have 4 factors here, separated by multiplication. Remember again that if 2 variables or a variable and a number are right next to each other, it means multiplication.